What's going on, everybody? Richie here. This is Mesocycle 2, Microcycle 2, the last training session of Microcycle 2, focusing on deadlifts as my strength move of the day. Sumo deadlifts specifically. Most of y'all know by now that I recently switched over to Sumo because of some groin injury that I had. Surprisingly, this actually aggravated less and not at all anymore. But switched over to Sumo. I was ramping up for a while, just working up to a heavy single every single week. And I wound up working from like 315 up to 495, 5 plates, set a new PR. That took about 8 to 10 weeks. And what I did was I calculated my 1 rep max off of that new single. So 445 is my training max that I'm using. So 10% less than that 4 plates. So today I'm doing 3 sets of 5 at 85% of that training max. It comes out to 380. And as I said, a lot of this, getting better at this move, is just going to be doing reps now. So I was able to work up to that single. Now it's time to add in some rep work, some sub-maximal training. Becoming more proficient at the movement, getting better at deadlifting with this sumo stance. So I got a lighter weight on the bar, I'm focusing on technique. The neural adaptation alone, I expect to add 10% to this lift. And I believe that'll take me 8 to 10 weeks to do so. So in 8 to 10 weeks, I'm expecting to pull 550. I think it's a fair goal. I think it's doable. And we shall see. So yeah, that's the second set right there. It was tough, actually. It's always tougher in the garage. I don't know what it is about my setup. I don't know if it's the plates, the bar, what it is, but it's always tougher in the garage, which is good. Because if it feels like this on a day where in the garage, when I get back to the gym, it's going to feel great. So I'm trying to keep it around RPE 8 for this last set. And as you can see, I'm really focusing on keeping the bar close to the body. Second set, I was letting it get away from me a bit. It made it much more challenging. This set, I'm focusing on really just dragging it up the shins and locking out strong at the top. And focusing on each rep, lifting with intent, just destroying the shit out of that cardboard box that I'm using as a band-aid to try and protect my floor. And that's the final one. You can see the speed was still there. So definitely keeping it around RPE 8. Just accumulating some quality volume with that movement. And we'll see if we could take down 600 sometime this year. All right, my assistance move for the day. So I like to do a deadlift and a squat on each one of my training days. I'm doing high bar squat. I'm not doing low bar. And I got 3 sets of 10 with 70. Well, it's actually probably like 67% or 72% of my training max. So my training max with high bar squat is 230. My training max with my low bar squat is 330. Why I do high bar instead of low bar? Well, that's exactly the reason. Because I'm using less weight and I'm targeting my weak points. So it's a win-win. I got less loading on my spine and I'm getting stronger in a move that I'm not great at. So just as I use good mornings for my assistance work on my squat day as a hip hinge so that I can develop my hamstrings and get a stronger hip hinge, that's what the high bar is for on deadlift day. So there's no need for me to do Romanian deadlifts on, one of my main day squats, and I want to do a hip hinge. I could do Romanian deadlifts and get the same stimulus. I have to use 2.5 times the weight and just load that on my lower back. Or I could do good mornings and get the same stimulus at a less weight. That's the same philosophy that I'm applying here. So I'm just keeping it real with y'all, showing you, this isn't the sexiest thing in the world. I'm squatting 165 pounds, right? But other people are just going to show you what they're really good at. I'm trying to keep it real because this is my training vlog. It's my training log. It's a video log of my training sessions, I want to be able to get visual feedback to look back and go, wow, remember when I was doing high bar squats with 165? Now I'm doing high bar squats with 265, 275, whatever. And my low bar squats up to 450, 460 now. That's what I want to be able to do, right? And hopefully anyone else who comes across my channel along that way, they can see where I started. Because I already know how I am. I'm not going to stop. I'm always going to stay consistent. So as long as I'm training hard, training smart like this, like getting more out of less weight, and staying injury-free like this, by doing lower risk moves, taking my time to learn something, become more proficient at a move that I'm not good at, it's just going to be progress made nonstop for a long time, right? I already know I'm going to deadlift 700 one day. I'm going to squat 600 one day. It's just a matter of time. I really just have to train smart and stay healthy. And this is doing both of that. So learning a new move, going to build it up, just adding 10 pounds to my training max over time. And I should be able to do that for a while, since there's so much room to grow on this movement. I should be able to do that for a while. Plus, I'm getting a quad pump out of it. I don't ever get that. I don't get that when I do low bar squats. Honestly, I really don't feel it in my quad. But this I do. So, giving my body a different stimulus, and I believe it's going to pay off. I'm very, very confident in that, in fact. And just getting some hypertrophy, and that's really it for my lower body days. My upper body days, a lot more volume, a lot more different movements. My upper body has a higher minimum effective volume, and it has a higher maximum recoverable volume. My lower body simply doesn't. So I've just been building it up slowly over time. I'm not going to go all out and try to destroy my legs. I'm trying to be recovered in 72 hours. And there has been times where I still have hamstring soreness from the workout before, from Good Mornings. There are times where my quads might be sore from these high bar squats if I have to try and train lower body again in a few days. So I've been building it up slow. I think this might actually be the first session that I actually completed 3 sets for my tier 2 movement. But I did. And that's really it. That's all there is today. We'll add more smaller movements over time as my maximum recoverable volume gets higher. But for the time being, we're just going to progressively overload these movements and keep getting stronger. All right, guys, that's the vlog. Take it easy. I'll talk to you next time.